So in this video, I will break down ChatGPT and DeepSeek and compare both large language modules or chatbots to identify which is the better one, which one should you be looking into more for your personal brand or creative agency or business. So first of all, this new AI battle seems to be at its peak, with China and the US fighting to have the best chatbot. Ever since the release of DeepSeek, the amount of pressure and sort of fear that seems to have been put on OpenAI seems to have been far greater, pushing them to make sort of changes and additional features to their chatbot. So if you look at general comparison, generally DeepSeek excels in rapid code generation and the more technical tasks. So, for example, writing code or questions like how do I connect a database to a website, DeepSeek would generally be better at answering those questions. However, Deep ChatGPT seems to provide more detailed explanations with better documentation to learn from, and it has a broader knowledge. I asked ChatGPT itself why it stands out above DeepSeek, why it's better than DeepSeek, and two things it mentioned were the fact that it has far broader knowledge, broader skill sets, and it has the ability to remember past conversations you've had with it and use that information better. One other big comparison is speed. I asked both DeepSeek and ChatGPT to write a 100-word text about social media marketing. ChatGPT wrote out this entire text in 9 seconds, whilst DeepSeek did the exact same in 14 seconds. So, bearing in mind that both these texts are the exact same length, it's quite a significant speed increase with DeepSeek. Now, if you look at key statistics, again, nothing surprises me too much regarding the first of these few statistics. Obviously, you'd expect ChatGPT to handle more queries each day, to have a larger market cap, to be used in more countries, etc. However, the thing that really stands out is the GPU usage by NVIDIA. 30,000 to 2,000 NVIDIA GPUs. I can't guarantee that all of the GPUs were NVIDIA, but primarily sourced from NVIDIA. And the reason why this is important is because the less GPUs the company uses to create these chatbots will mean the programs can run more efficiently and faster, hence the faster response times. However, since ChatGPT does handle far more queries each day, it does require greater computing power to handle these queries, hence why it needs more GPUs to run. So there's always counter arguments. If you look at a pricing comparison, there's quite a big difference here again. ChatGPT has quite a simple pricing structure of a free plan, a pay plan of $20 a month, and an enterprise or pro plan at $200 a month. Few features that are only available in the pro plan would be the access to uploading unlimited images. In the free plan, you can only upload, I believe, 3 images a day for ChatGPT to analyze. The pro plan, you get unlimited. You also get access to Sora AI, the generative AI tool, and you have the ability to create custom GPTs. So these are GPTs which you can program to have their own style of response, their own tonality, the length of their responses, etc. Is all custom to the way you and your business would like. So you could create your own custom sales GPT, and it would have the exact sort of style of response, the exact tone that you would like. And then obviously you could link this to your website, add it as a widget, etc. DeepSeek, on the other hand, has a more complicated pricing structure, in my opinion. It is cheaper overall, but the way it calculates pricing is, yes, it has a free plan, but then when you upgrade to the paid plan, you pay based off of token usage. So one token would be, for example, the word cold. That would be one token. However, the word beautiful may be broken up into three separate tokens. Um, or if you were to write hello there exclamation mark with quotation marks around it, that may count as four tokens because that's two words plus two different punctuation, or one sort of Chinese character, a symbol, would be one token. And then you also have input and output tokens. Input tokens are what you give into the chatbot, so in your prompt, and then the output tokens would be what it gives you, which you should probably pay more attention to that because the amount of text you're receiving from DeepSeek is far greater than the amount of text you're putting into it generally. Um, yeah. Then you have different prices based off different models, different features. DeepSeek Chat, DeepSeek Reasoner is more complicated. Next, looking at the more powerful large language model, and while DeepSeek wins on price, accessibility, and sort of efficiency in many ways, ChatGPT is more polished and has more features, which you would expect considering ChatGPT has been available for over 3 years now, and DeepSeek's only been out there for a few weeks, maybe a few months. So you'd expect ChatGPT to, for example, have less hallucinations, come up with less sort of fake information. ChatGPT also has things like a voice mode where you can speak into ChatGPT and get responses. It has more integration with other external apps. Again, you have chat memory and image support on the platform. Now, another thing which stood out to me between ChatGPT and DeepSeek is the sort of deep think or reasoning modules, the features, sorry, and the way that the chatbot answers your questions, or whatever your questions or concerns in the chatbot. So I asked ChatGPT, what is the purpose of the reason feature? It thought for 5 seconds, and then it created a one sentence answer. Well, the reason feature is designed to reveal the step by step logic behind ChatGPT's responses, enhancing transparency and helping users understand how conclusions are reached. DeepSeek, on the other hand, explains its entire thought process for a whole 20 seconds before providing a response. So it broke down what the question is, how it's going to structure its response, what it's going to include in its response, how it's going to do all this, and really just shows all the sort of internal discussions that DeepSeek is having with itself. Is this an advantage? I would say so. I prefer seeing exactly the thought process that these models are having before giving their response. And then I can sort of point out any errors that DeepSeek may be having inside of its thought process before coming to a conclusion. Whereas that's harder to do with the way ChatGPT is doing things. But again, these models are changing all the time. And ChatGPT may also have this sort of way of reasoning in the future. And finally, politics, interface, and custom AI. One thing you have to always consider is bias and political influence on these chatbots. Again, DeepSeek, made by China. Lots of political questions or questions that you ask DeepSeek about other chatbots will be influenced by the creators of DeepSeek, and the same for ChatGPT. So, for example, I've asked both chatbots, what do you think of the Chinese government? And ChatGPT tries to provide a balanced argument evaluating the pros and cons, whereas DeepSeek is obviously very pro the Chinese government, mentioning how they've wholeheartedly served the nation, etc., etc., etc. Really stepping back from mentioning any sort of downsides to the economy or the government. Likewise with other AI models. And then Regarding the interface, I mean, the interface looks more or less the same between both chatbots. They both have apps. You can both attach images really easily. Yeah, more or less the same there. And then regarding custom AIs, again, I've already mentioned this, but OpenAI allows users to create custom GPTs through their ChatGPT Plus plan that costs $20 a month. Whereas DeepSeek has a pay-as-you-go pricing based off of usage. So per API call or compute per hour, that's one thing that's only available in the paid plans. That's API calls, so sort of live transfer of data between two different software. And that's why when you create sort of automations within Make or Zapier or N8N, you generally find you have to use the paid plan of ChatGPT to allow these API calls, these live data transfers. Yeah, this new AI warfare has only just begun. There'll be rapid advancements between these two chatbots, and not just between chatbots and large language models, but also with other AI tools like generative AI. I mean, this image here was created by FreePig and the AI image generator that it has. And yeah, these models will just keep improving. You're not even software programs, and we're also talking about data centers being built. Project Stargate has already started construction in Texas, I believe. Massive data centers, requiring hundreds of billions in funding from OpenAI and other software companies. And the idea behind that is to provide more computing power to reduce the costs of AI software to make them cheaper and more accessible to the public. Again, intended to provide the edge to ChatGPT and OpenAI and other AI software in the US. Yeah, thank you for listening. I'd appreciate if you were to subscribe. I put out weekly videos on topics like this, more general topics about AI, and then also going into more depth specifically regarding creative agencies and building out sort of custom automations and AI agents to streamline their sales funnel, their sales pipeline.